You are listening to the voice of self-discovery. Learn to discover a better you every day. Hello people, I am happy to connect with you again after a long birthday break. I'm back. So I hope you're doing well. As you know, we are learning about time and self-management all through the month of April. I've received a number of questions which prompts me that most people don't even know why they waste time. In fact, they don't know what they waste time on. They just don't know how and why or what they waste time on. All they know is time is just flying. The day ends, another one begins, and time just flies just like that. Not knowing your time management struggle is in itself a problem. So today I'm dedicating this episode to help us understand what our time management struggles are. Because the first step to solving a problem is to understand the problem. So today we're just going to try and understand what really is the struggle. That said, the first group of people I want to talk about are what I call the time martyrs. Time, martyrs. These people are busy, like really busy, very busy doing everything except what is important to them. So in a workplace, for instance, these are the people who would get up from their desk at every call. Oh, Kojo, can you check my laptop for me? It's frozen. They'll just stop whatever they're doing, follow the person. Oh, can you escort me to buy lunch? They'll just follow you. Can you do this? They are responding to everybody's needs except doing what is important for them. It's almost as if they are seeking validation from others by doing what other people expect them to do or responding to other people's demands, wishes, or calls without responding to their own task. So instead of completing what is important to you to get validation from yourself, you do everything except what is important to you. In a workplace, like I was saying, you leave your job description, whatever you're employed to do, you don't do that. You are very busy helping other people to do what they were employed to do. If this is you, if you see yourself in this description, you are a time martyr, martyr. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word correctly, that's why I keep spelling it. But yes, if you see yourself in this description, your major problem is you never meet your own deadlines. You always miss your deadlines, and that is because you fail to prioritize. Ladies and gentlemen, not every urgent thing is important. Let me say that again. Not every urgent thing is important. The fact that the thing requires your attention in this very moment doesn't mean it's important. So just before you respond to every call, just before you respond to every phone beep, every email notification, every call, every beckon, take a moment and ask yourself if it's important. It may be urgent, but is it important? It may be urgent, but is it important? So prioritization is your problem, and that is what you need to deal with. Prioritization. So if prioritization is your problem, I'm going to leave a link in the description to the previous episode on Covey's time management matrix. It's going to help you prioritize. But even before you watch that video, you need to be honest with yourself on the things you can and cannot do. Ask yourself, what really do you value? Do you value looking good in the sight of others over being productive? And even on that first point of looking good in the sight of others, you may think you are helping them, but you are actually not helping anyone. If you do this in a workplace by responding to every random need and call from your colleagues, you're not promoting a good work ethic or culture. What is proper is for people to come to you and ask, oh, when is a good time for you to help me do this? Or can I come at this time for you to support me with that? But not just randomly you responding to every need and every call. First, you're not even building respect between you and the people you are helping. They don't value your time if they think you respond to every beckon and every call of theirs, every demand. There's no respect, which is not a good working relationship in the first place. So you may think you are helping people, but you're not helping yourself and you're not helping anyone. So be truthful to yourself on what you can and cannot do, and don't be afraid to communicate to people, though politely, when you cannot do something. You've not committed a crime, you're just being realistic. So be realistic, prioritize, and I hope Covey's time management matrix description, the link will be in the description below. Watch it and apply that to help you overcome any prioritization problems you may have, and more importantly, overcome your time management struggle. The next group of people I'd like to talk about are the procrastinators. These people are capable. Whatever tasks they have on their to-do list, they are capable of completing it in time. But the problem is they either underestimate the task or overestimate their own abilities. So they end up pushing forth to tomorrow all that they can do today. And they have this slogan that they work best under pressure. Are you that person who says, oh, I work best under pressure? I can deliver my best work at the last minute. Let me tell you this. No matter how good the work you deliver in the last minute is, that is not your best. You may be competent, yes, but your procrastinating attitude, if you would be truthful to yourself, makes you multitask almost all the time. And you end up producing either average work or simply good work. It's not substandard because you are yourself good, but it's definitely not your best. So your major problem, your major time management struggle, if you fit into this description, is procrastinating. And this may stem from you underestimating the task you have or overestimating your ability. Think about it. Either of them. So to be able to, avoid procrastinating, again, there is another episode I've previously done on overcoming procrastinating. I'm going to leave the link to that as well in the description. So do well to watch that video as well and pick some tips to help you overcome this time management struggle. So here's how some of the perfectionist traits manifest as time management struggles. You may be that person who will wake up early to start preparing for work or for church or for whatever event. You finish on time, but then you run to the door and something will say, oh, did I brush my hair? Then you run back and check, oh, but I brushed my hair. Wasting time, 2 minutes gone with that back and forth. Or you may be that person who is prepared for maybe a work meeting, a presentation or whatever, but then you are just fidgeting because you don't know whether you are prepared enough. You went to sit in the boardroom for the meeting. Few minutes to the start of the meeting, you rush out to the washroom just because you are all nervous. Your perfectionist trait pops up and you are the first person to speak in that meeting, and everybody comes to sit and you are still there in the washroom checking yourself. What am I going to say first? Finding your words. Perfectionism. And you enter the boardroom eventually, and the impression everybody has is that you are late. But no, you came early. Your perfectionist trait made you go waste time in the washroom, and then now you appear late. Or it could be that you have a write-up. You don't know whether it's good enough. I've gone through some of these things, and that is how come I'm able to talk more about this particular one, I think. So what I realized is that the more you build self-confidence, the more you do not bother too much about perfection. And like I was saying earlier, I was struggling with time management. I was having two time management struggles at the same time: procrastination and perfectionism. And I think by solving the procrastination problem, I was able to partly also overcome the perfectionism. So basically, I decided intentionally, of course, it all stems from decision, that I'm going to start my work on time. I had to ask myself some really tough questions about my values and decide that for me, yes, excellence is key. Punctuality is also important. And so I'm going to start my work on time. And by avoiding procrastination, I know within myself when I've given of my best to a task. And once I've done my best, I also built some level of self-confidence that made me comfortable with the outcome. So when I give my best to any activity, to any task, I'm also happy with whatever outcome that comes. So I'm able to submit the thing knowing, oh, I've done my best, or I've started it off on time. I now begin to understand what finished looks like. But I'm going to be sharing some specific time management techniques with you, some ways to overcome burnout and things like that. And once again, I've done a whole episode on developing self-confidence, so I'm going to leave the link to that as well in the description. If I was still that perfectionist, this video is definitely not going out because I've made a series of mistakes back and forth. But yes, I've overcome it. The most important thing for me is to connect with you this way, to send the message across. And I know I'm making sense and you're understanding what I'm saying. So this is what finished looks like. Wait a moment, I'm not done. So before you go, there's another group I'd like to talk about. They have a very peculiar time management struggle. I call them the firefighters. They like to tackle everything on their own. They like to do everything by themselves. You may be that person who earns enough money to have, let's say, a gardener, or to have somebody wash your car. You can just drive to the washing bay and get some things, add things done for you by others. But you just like to get everything done. And this almost always causes you burnout. So your life is almost like the fire service. You're almost putting out fires every now and then. Your favorite phrase is, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. You enjoy feeling busy. So you may be a working class person, but you're also the same person doing your gardening, you're the same person washing your car, you're the same person doing the cleaning. It's like you're doing everything. You need to learn to delegate. You need to learn to delegate. You don't have to do everything by yourself for you to feel important or productive or whatever. You need to overcome that need to feel busy. You need to identify what things require your time, what is the best use of your time. And other things which you do not classify as the best use of your time but equally important, you can delegate to others to help you out with. And by that, you overcome some of the burnouts you experience. And I also think you need to have a not to-do list. It would help you. Have a not to-do list because your to-do list is already overflowing. So give yourself a not to-do list to regulate the things you spend time on and to guide your mind to know what things to delegate. So guys, this episode is just to help us understand our time management struggles. Why you struggle to manage time. We all don't have the same issues. We all don't have the same problems, as you would have identified by following this session. The root cause of our struggles differ. And by that, you also know the solutions would differ somewhat. So follow this series closely as I continue to discuss some techniques, strategies, and practical ways to manage yourself and your time wisely. Before you go, I have an announcement. So here's what I have with me. This is our learning material for the month of May. Interestingly, I like to use soft copy so you don't see me holding the books during the discussion and things like that. But a friend gifted me this book and I'm very excited and grateful for that. So we'll get to read the book live, literally. So look forward to it. It's Adam Grant's book titled Think Again. Think Again. I'll tell you more about it at the beginning of May. So look forward to it, and I'll be continuing the series on time and self-management tomorrow. Stay tuned, subscribe to our learning channel. Let's keep learning and growing together. I am Priscilla Appiah, the voice of self-discovery. If you still don't know, you matter. Voice of self-discovery. Do you like a pro?